morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Santa Cruz Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Keith Mowry. Did I get that right? Mowry, from Bob's Country Meats. Bob's Country Meats, and let's talk about who is Bob's Country Meats. You're here in Canyon Country?
Right, we're here in Canyon Country. Been here 38 years or more. I've owned it now myself for over 23. And we just keep improving, doing it better, and giving the people the quality that they're looking for.
So let's talk about that, because you can go to a big box store, you can go to a traditional grocery store, which to get your groceries, or you can go to someone that specializes in meats. Why a specialist?
Well, they come to us and we give them a better quality than they get at the market. And, our pricing's not bad. Steaks are a little higher. The rest of the stuff is right in there. And we'll custom cut stuff for you if you want something 1.5 inches thick or thinner. And plus our quality is much higher.
Let's talk about quality. What are you looking for when you're looking at a meat? How could you explain to me, a novice, I love a good steak, but don't know the difference when buying quality?
Well, when you're looking at the meat, you look for the marbling in it. All the flecks of meat and fat inside the steak. Everyone says, it's too fatty, but that's what makes it tasty and more tender. So it comes out a lot nicer that way. And at the markets too, they don't say choice or prime or select. It's the bottom grade, and they just put a fancy name on it to try and make you buy it. Instead of getting a good quality stuff, they're just going for price.
And so you're able to cut, but also you're able to give instructions on how to cook that particular meat that you cut, because there's an art to that. Because you can undercook it. If you undercook it, then you end up throwing it back on and burning it.
Right.
And if you overcook it, then you don't enjoy it like you should, the way you want it.
Exactly. And what I tell everybody? When you gut it on the grill, you check it. When you don't think it's quite done, is normally when it's ready. Thermometers. You put a thermometer in it, you find the number you like. If you like it medium rare on a steak, you pull it out about 130 degrees internal temperature. Chicken should always be cooked to at least 155 to 160. Try not to go over that. And same with pork. If you use that thermometer, you're going to hit right on every time. You're going to enjoy your meal.
Yeah, the biggest thing we struggle with is on chicken. You got a big thick piece on the one end, on a chicken breast, and then you got a thin piece. You're undercooking one and overcooking the other.
Yeah, well, you can't get away from that too much, but you want the thick piece to be done.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to cut into it and say, "Boy, this is very moist."
yeah, and then you throw it back on, like you said, and then you cremate it. You let all the juices out.
Let's talk about barbecuing. It is barbecue season.
Right.
Let's talk about some of the basics in barbecuing, some of the best meats to cook in a barbecue. Let's talk about meats first.
Okay. Some of the most common are the tri-tip. A lot of people like to cook the tri-tip.
They don't make tri-tip on the East Coast. My brother can't find it very much in D.C. and my brother's in Boston and D.C. with my cousin. Tri-tip is not common.
Right, because they break beef a little different there than we do here. So they leave it on the top sirloin steak, or the sirloin with a bone, and they leave part of it on the sirloin tip roast. So they don't seam it out like we do, but it's a fantastic piece of meat. And as long as you cut it right and get a good quality, you're going to get...
Cut it at a nice angle, right?
Nice angle, and make sure you cut across the grain. Because it's the way it's shaped, everyone wants to just start cutting from the flat end, and by the time they get halfway through, they're cutting with the grain instead of against it. And then it's a little more chewy. But if you cut it right, it comes out nice.
Yeah, what else is a good summer cut?
Ribeyes are excellent. We do a lot of ribeyes and T-bone porterhouse. Great steaks for the barbecue.
Now, ribeye is going to be a little more fatty, but a little more flavorful, right? Because
exactly.
It's going to be a little more marble.
Right. Yeah, there's more fat in it. Comes out nicer. It's a boneless prime rib roast. You cut them up, and they come out fantastic.
Right. And T-bone?
T-bone is New York and a filet. Same with the porterhouse. The T-bone just has a smaller fillet, and they're great tasting.
Now,
steaks.
On a special date night, let's talk about that. A filet
mignon.
It's all about how you cook it.
Well, yeah, and a lot of time, wrap it in bacon comes out really nice. A lot of people like to do sauces on them. I just like to season it, put maybe a little thin thing of bacon around it, and barbecue it up like that, and hit my number on the thermometer.
The big thing I want to stress upon that Keith is sharing with us is. Look, I like to go to a nice restaurant. The Chamber of Commerce has some great restaurants that they're members. Salt Creek is one of my favorites with Greg Amser there. But if you want to do something at home with the family in a larger group setting, There's nothing better than getting a good piece of steak, putting it on the barbecue, and really enjoying it. Let's talk about complimentary. Potatoes are big, right, in the summer?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Baked.
Potatoes come out good. You take a baked potato or a potato and you slice it, put a little onion on there, a little salt and pepper, a little butter, wrap it in a little foil pouch, and put it on your barbecue.
That's my favorite.
And they come out fantastic
Yep,
like that.
sliced potatoes.
Yeah, I mean you can put anything on it you want, but that's the basic.
Yeah.
You know.
The kids love those when we cook them in the summer. You can put them on. You can slow cook them for a long time. Let's talk about what's complementary to chicken. So chicken, how are you seeing it done in the summertime?
Well, still a lot of people with chicken, they like to do rice with it. I like to take asparagus also. You coat it with a little bit of lemon juice, a little garlic salt, and you just put it on the barbecue and roll it a couple times, and it comes out fantastic like that.
Yeah, my wife likes the balsamic with it.
Yes, that's actually.
And there's so many
also.
different flavors of balsamic. You can really, with asparagus, you could do a lot. What about the way it's prepared? You sometimes see it with peppers. What's typical in the summer when you're barbecuing chicken as far as preparing the chicken?
A lot of people like to marinate it, and season it, but I always like to season it or marinate it at least 5-6 hours ahead of time. That way you can get the penetration of the seasoning or the marinade into it. Sometimes on chicken, we'll do it for a day or two.
And can you come by and get it marinated by your group?
Oh, yeah. We have a couple different marinades. We have a teriyaki sauce. We have a Mexican style that's not hot. We have one that's hot, sweet and sour barbecue sauce. We have the kebabs, all that good stuff.
Let's talk about pork.
Pork.
What are you seeing? Summer pork, spare ribs?
Spare ribs, baby back ribs are real popular. They barbecue them up. Sometimes, like baby back ribs, sometimes I'll just do them in the oven for about an hour and a half, covered, a little moisture in there, and then finish them off on the barbecue. Last 20 minutes.
My wife puts them in a crock pot. She'll put 2 sets of it and cut them in half because they won't fit.
Right.
And cook it for, it seems like all day, but hours. And then we throw it in the barbecue and we're done.
Right. Yeah, it comes out good that way. You get the flavor you're looking for.
Yeah.
And they're nice and tender and juicy.
Good. We went over a lot on this, Keith. I really wanted to just talk to you and really, since it's summertime, talk about ways in which you can enjoy your backyard, enjoy this great weather here in Southern California, but also get a great piece of meat at a fraction of the cost of what it would be if you went out to dinner.
Oh, right. Yeah, some of the places out here now, you can go out and pay $50, $60 just for the steak.
Yeah, and you could really go all out, but it does hurt the pocketbook a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so a great way to support. Keith, where are you guys located?
Okay, we're right on Soledad in the same shopping center as Carl's Jr. We barbecue out front every day. We have barbecue tri-tip, chicken ribs, and it's 19012 Soledad Canyon Road. The phone number is 251-5995. And we're there from 9 to 7 every day, but Sundays is 10 to 5.
Well, I'm going to swing by there at 12:30 on my way out of here to get something nice for the weekend. I really appreciate you sharing.
No problem. Yeah. And, we just had a Google shoot so they can stream us live or go on live and come
That's
inside.
Right. Yeah. So we did the same.
Yeah.
With Carl's group and yeah, perfect. It's Google Places, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can just go on the bobscountrymeats.com and it has pictures right next to it where you can just click on them and go inside and see what everything we have.
A place where everybody's going to know your name once you go there. So thanks so much, Keith.
That's right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith from Bob's Country Meats. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Santa Cruz Valley Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight on AM 1220 KHTS.